Well, Season 9 starts tomorrow, so we get to see those patch notes today. This video is going to be going over all of the combat changes that are coming with Season 9. And of course, with Season 9, we know that we're getting a new PvP game mode in Capture the Flag. We're going to get to playtest a new OPR map pretty soon as well, and we've got a new arena map. And of course, while we talk about these changes, I've got a little bit of gameplay for you guys. At the end of the video, there is a bit of a build breakdown. I don't have a written guide for this one yet, but that will be coming very soon. I wanted to wait until Season 9 is actually out to put out a proper guide for this build. So let's begin. Doubloons are going to be double the drop rate that they previously were. On top of that, the chest spawns in the free-for-all area are going to be around half as fast as they used to be. So this is not only a big deal for gathering doubloons, but the gear that you can get from doubloons has been greatly improved as well. And here you can see the gear score increases across the board. The big one to note here is the non-Apex crates are going to now be 720 to 725 gear score drops, which is huge for trying to get some 725 items, at least giving you a good option to roll them with doubloons now. Taking a look at the new artifacts that we're getting, we've got 3 coming in. The first one is the Hammer of Yeet. This was in the previous PvP only seasonal server, but it basically is a warhammer that gives you 300% additional knockback when you use Clear Out. On top of this, the first person that you hit with this is turned into a projectile that can cause more damage as they fly through other players. The next new artifact is Crescent's Wave Greatsword, and this is basically going to turn your heavy attacks into ranged attacks. On top of it, you get a 12% base damage bonus to any target that is 10 meters away from you, and this applies to both weapons, so a very different take on Greatsword, and I'm interested to see what this will look like in larger scale PvP. And then the new armor artifact that we're getting is the Plague Herald Helm, which pretty much makes you apply disease with every attack that you do to a maximum of 10 stacks. Now this also applies disease to yourself as you attack, but a heavy attack at 10 stacks can set off a big disease cloud when you hit an opponent with it. So I can definitely see this guy having a big impact on group PvP. Some previous artifacts are also getting changed. Vengeance is basically becoming a healing staff now. Instead of being something that increases your damage, it's going to increase your healing as long as the target has not previously been affected by a life staff heal over time. Now the Grey Wizard's hat I'm very excited for. Gives your magic weapons a 25% faster charging heavy attack when you're above 50% mana. I'm not sure if it's still going to give you the additional max mana, but oh my god, Fire Staff is going to be devastating with this. The next big change is the Creed boots. They are now going to be backstab and headshot boots, giving you a 20% bonus to both. On top of it, when you inflict that backstab or headshot, you will apply a 10% weaken for 5 seconds and gain 10% in power. This can only be applied once every 15 seconds per target. Huge change to these guys, making them not only viable, but a very attractive choice for your assassin builds. The Tersna is now going to have lifesteal on rooted and stunned enemies. Now for one of the biggest changes coming with this patch, the haste changes. The haste cap is now 40%, not 50%. On top of it, haste across the board has pretty much been nerfed. The haste elixir in wars is now a 40% haste. Zephyr cakes are 7% down from 15%. Both of the hastes from your heart runes have been nerfed as well. For life staff, speed of light is now 15% down from 20, and accelerating light's embrace is now 11/20% down from 13/31% on the weapon. Fire staff's combat speed is 7% down from 10, and accelerating flamethrower is 15% down from 20. Hatchet's Berserk is now 13% haste down from 20. Quick Power is 15% down from 20. And Aggressive Approach is 15% down from 20 as well. Bow's Go the Distance haste is 12% down from 15. Archer Speed is 7% down from 10. And Dodge and Weave is also 7% down from 10. For Musket, Hustle has reduced the haste to 7% down from 10. And Accelerating Traps has been nerfed to 13/22% down from 16/33% on the weapon. Rapier's Allegro has been nerfed to 12% down from 20, but they did not nerf the Rapier on hit haste passive, so that's still 3% per hit. For Sword and Shield, the critical precision is now 15% haste instead of 20, and Accelerated Resolve has had a similar treatment, being nerfed down to 13 and 21% down from 22 and 26. For the blunderbuss, lingering flow has been reduced to 18% from 25, and delayed escape is now 15% from 20. For the ice gauntlet, quick shower is now 20% instead of 25, and quick frost is now 7% instead of 10. And for Warhammer, both of the 30% haste that you get from the 2 Warhammer skills are nerfed to 20%. That being said, the Warhammer passive that gives you 20% haste whenever you hit an opponent with a condition was not nerfed. And for Flail, Accelerated Advantage has been reduced to 5% self-haste from 7, and the ally haste is 20% from 25. Oppressive Advantage is 7% from 10, and Accelerated Barrage is now 16/26%, down from 21/36% on the weapon. Now for the perk changes to haste, Potent Alacrity is now Potent Vivacity, and it now increases the potency of energized status effects, and it's a 12% increase instead of 9. Hasted Vigor has been nerfed to 7% instead of 10%. Keen Speed is down to 15% from 20. The Sand Lion's Tarsus, or the special heavy armor boots that give you Keen Speed, their value on Keen Speed is now 12% instead of the original 15 that it would be coming into this patch. So those guys have been nerfed a little bit simply because they have, I guess, the haste on such a unique item. Hardcore Parkour is now 15%, down from 18%. Desperate in Power gives 7.2% haste instead of 10%. The Grace Artifact has been nerfed to 15% from 20%. And the Runic Greaves haste has been reduced to 23% from 33%. Now, let's take a look at some of the weapon changes all around. Bows, Poison Shot is now a 20-second cooldown from 30 seconds. Fire Staff got some nerfs. Smolder is now 4.5% damage per tick instead of 5. Fiery Restoration has had its cooldown reduction reduced to 7% from 10%. Pillar of Fire had an increase in cooldown to 15 seconds from 10 seconds. That is huge. Then for the Flail, there are some big functionality changes. The outgoing healing of the Flail is 15% stronger if the user does not have a life staff equipped. The outgoing healing of the Flail is 15% stronger if the user is not in a heavy armor equipment. And then on top of it, the base damage is increased by 15% if you're not wielding a shield. Lifesteal on Deflecting Frailty has been increased to 15%, and then Supportive Blessing, they reduced the self-healing portion to 35% of base damage. Hatchet took a pretty big nerf to Berserk. The duration of it is now 5 seconds, and it will increase by 1 second per hit to a maximum of 12 seconds. Huge nerf to its defensive functionality there. Then for the Ice Gauntlet, they increased the knockback of Wind Chill, and they nerfed the cooldown from Refreshing Frost to 15% from 20, so rest in peace, the no cooldown Ice Gauntlet build. For Sword and Shield, Leaping Strike will no longer stagger. And Void Gauntlet got the nerf too. Leeching Blade will now scale from focus only. For your Void Blade, the base damage on your light attacks have been reduced to 95%, and the heavy attack is 145%. They also added a cooldown to Invigorated Rupture. Finally, Poor Stone Form is now 4-second duration instead of 5. Last but not least, a few consumable changes. Desert Sunrise is no longer going to double dip, unfortunately, and the Burst Regen Potion will no longer give you mana regen. And there you go, guys. Those are all the big combat changes that are coming with Season 9. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of the gameplay as well. I am going to show you guys the build. So here's a quick rundown of it. I'm not going to talk about it or anything because I will do a proper build video in the very near future, updated for Season 9 for you guys. But because Season 9 technically isn't out yet at the time that I made this, this is what you guys get. Of course, there's a link down below to my website, pvpnewworld.com, if you guys want to check out more builds for yourself. On top of it, I would love to get the New World Top 5 fights going again. So if you have an awesome fight that you want to see in the New World Top 5, you can email that to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. And I am streaming on Twitch, so if you guys want to catch any live gameplay from me, I'm going to be playing a lot of PvP once Season 9 hits. So look forward to that. There's a link down below to my Twitch if you want to check it out. And of course, I would love to hear what you guys think about some of these changes. I like that they kind of addressed some of the problem weapons. Fire Staff, Sword and Shield, Hatchet, all got some pretty significant nerfs with this patch. And then haste changes across the board. I'm really interested to see how that will feel once we get into PvP to test that out. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.